I'm Trish with today's QOTD question of the day. Record your answer and join us in the show. Today's question is for all you history buffs. If you could go back in time and witness any moment in history, what would it be? Want to see a gladiator fight or fight for civil rights? Maybe you'd walk the surface of the moon or see Michael's first moonwalk. Please welcome our first witness to history. This is Maddie.
If I was a fly on the wall, I would have watched Da Vinci plate the Mona Lisa.
So I hope that you bring a lot of Starbucks and some snacks, Maddie, because I have a feeling it might have taken him a long time to paint that portrait, probably one of the most famous in the world. Yeah, I wonder if it's one of those things like the old time photographs, you know, how nobody's ever smiling. And it's because it took so long to take the photo and have it like do its thing that you couldn't sit there with a smile on your face all the time. That's why everybody's just stone faced. So I wonder if that's part of it.
I would also love to see the real life woman behind such an iconic piece. You know, was she smiling? Was she not? It would be awesome to kind of be able to peer in and see it in real time.
Exactly.
JJ, did you have a favorite fan answer?
So my answer comes from Denny, who is not throwing away her shot to see some very cool historical moments.
If I could be a fly on the wall in a moment in history, I would be in the room where it happens with Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison when they make life-changing decisions for America.
Nice, nice. She wants to be in the room where it happens. We've talked about Hamilton before. Love that musical. And I feel like that's also, there's a lot of very specific events within that broader time in history, like the signing of the Declaration of Independence, that like first government or attempt at government in America.
Yeah, it all fit into a 2.5 hour musical. That's crazy. History is crazy, you guys.
And you know, you just have to remember that we're still making history all the time, right? Signing gay marriage into law and things like that. Like, we're really doing momentous things too.
Well, this is normally the part in the show where we would have Keith present his answer, but unfortunately he is on a 7-year trip around the world. He's trying to pull a little Magellan and do a complete go around the circumference, like on the equator, you know, the thing that people do sometimes. So now we have Keith's answer from Spencer.
I would be a fly on the wall during the Rubber Soul recording sessions with the Beatles. It's my favorite Beatles album, and I do believe that the Beatles are the most influential and important musicians in modern music, period.
And you know who agrees with you, Spencer? Our other fan, Bartimus. He's even got Beatles lyrics tattooed on his arm.
Rubber Soul is a great album. It's not my favorite. I would probably go with the White Album if we're picking between recording sessions, specifically for Helter Skelter. I want to see what kind of beasts they unleashed in the studio.
Reed, did you find a moment in history amongst the fan answers that you really enjoyed?
I did. I found an answer from V. Diaz that I thought was a slam dunk.
So if I could be a fly on the wall in any moment in history, the room that I would be in is a stadium, like the basketball stadium that they played the North Carolina Georgetown game, the one where Michael Jordan like had his, game-winning shot. I would definitely love to be in that room, seeing like all the vibes and everyone just going crazy when that shot just goes off, and like just seeing that would probably make me cry. So yeah,
Jordan is definitely the GOAT, and I think there's nothing more fun than being at a sports game where your team is winning too, and you just get thousands of people up on their feet and screaming and hollering. It's just a euphoric and cathartic experience too, so I totally understand.
Well, actually, I've been to like 1 or 2 basketball games. I've been to many hockey games, and if getting that game-winning shot was anything like the Devils literally getting a goal at any point in time, I would have loved to be there as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. She went with his college days too, like not when he was playing for the Bulls, but I think to me shows she's a very real and loyal fan.
But fans, if you have an answer to this question, if you have a moment in history you want to have witnessed, please record your answer using the links in the description and make sure to do so before our Thursday Big Show Weekly Championship. Now it's time for our answers. So Trish, what moment in history would you have want to have seen?
1991 wasn't that long ago. I would have loved to have been at the Super Bowl, not for the game, not for the teams. I don't even know who played, but that was when Whitney Houston sang the Star Spangled Banner and set the absolute gold standard for Super Bowl performances, the national anthem. Yes, we witnessed it on TV. Not the same, I'm sure, as being in the stadium, watching it, hearing it, and feeling it in real time. I think I might have fainted.
My parents might probably say the same thing too. They're obsessed with that performance.
Yes.
And I think she holds out the final note just for like a crazy amount of time. Amazing breath control. I mean, I love your answer. I can't pinpoint the exact time, but when Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake," because the general consensus is that her words were severely misconstrued. So I'd love to know what actually went down.
Right? Did she say bread or did she say cake?
I think she said, "Why don't they just eat cake?" She was just so out of touch with reality. They were like, "We
Right.
can't afford bread." And she was like, "Well, cake is better anyway."
She's like, tell them to call DoorDash. Jeez.
Yeah, my gosh, guys. There's a pastry shop right in my kitchen.
Ooh, I'm choosing, so I'm going back, but I'm going way, 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 way back because this question never said it had to be human history. It just said history. So I'm going back millions, hundreds of millions of years ago to see the first creature to move from the ocean and like walk on land because I just want to know what it looks like. Because I've seen like all those diagrams of like, oh, it's like a frog with like long legs, but I want to see if that's true, you know? And also just like, you know, that's the point when everything went downhill for the world. So.
I was gonna say, now I'm like, oh, it would be so cool to be around the dinosaurs as like a fly on the wall. You don't really have to interact, you're just observing, because those old creatures, they're fascinating.
Especially like when the asteroid hit and you can just be like a fly on the wall, not actually affected by it, but just to...
I would have stopped it. If I could go back in time, I would stop the comet from hitting the dinosaurs and we would live in Jurassic World right now.
Record your answer using the links below and make sure that you subscribe, follow, or register so you can get our new questions and announcements right in your daily feed.
Yes, thank you everyone who's watched, voted, and recorded so far this week. Remember, the top voted answers make it onto our Thursday Big Show, so record away.
Send us some love by liking, commenting, subscribing, or hitting thanks on YouTube. And if you do, we'll give you a shout out on the air. Thank you everybody for watching, and there's still time to let us know if you could be a fly on the wall for any historical event, which one would it be?